goes ThorZaIN versus Dignitas SeleCT here for the day 2 of IPL 3 Origins. Thanks for coming out and joining us. SeleCT being a little bit indecisive on his split there. He wasn't sure if he wanted the SCVs to mine on the lower patches or the higher patches, but now he's split them all up. GLHFs go out. We've got Dignitas SeleCT spawning in the northwest as our red Terran. And over here in the southeast, we've got Mao's ThorZaIN, our blue Terran cross position. And this could be a recipe for a very, very long game.
Oh, when ThorZaIN's involved, yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah.
Put him cross positions on a map like this.
I know, somebody needs to upgrade ThorZaIN with a knife or something, because this is gonna be tough if he decides to go for a spoon attack here.
Yes.
And I mean, thinking about the results head-to-head now, SeleCT kind of pulling it back a little bit. I think before they came into this, it was 6-1 to ThorZaIN. And that's pretty big, especially against, well, I think it was over 2 tournaments, so that's actually really big with the pool play in MLG and then the extended series as well, really tallying that up. And SeleCT fighting back now, you know, got a decent win, will be able to continue that success.
Now, obviously, a much bigger map, and ThorZaIN's pick. We often talk about a lot from a caster perspective about you know, the players and why they like particular maps, and how some maps really play into their own skill set and how they choose to play the game. So when you think about a player like ThorZaIN, you know, what do you read when you see him pick a map like Tal'Darim Altar?
Well, the kind of standard opening for this map is usually Reaper Expand, but looking at his base, he hasn't even taken a gas here. And the reason why Reaper Expand is pretty standard here is because it's very easy and there's a lot of areas to actually enter the main base. So I wouldn't be surprised if SeleCT did that having taken gas, but looking over at ThorZaIN's base, gone a gasless style, which is pretty much standard in Korea right now. I mean, as long as you have really good defense, you're always going to come ahead, and your mid-game pushes are going to be a lot stronger, and also your upgrades are going to be hit faster. So we'll have to see what he decides to do mid-game. But overall, ThorZaIN, he does like to play bio-tank, so he doesn't want to delay his tech too long here. So, you know, he can take double refinery kind of relatively early after that command center's been done.
And we do have the Tech Lab going down for SeleCT right now. Is he going to go for something similar to what he did last time? Well, first Reaper says that the answer to that is yes. And now we have ThorZaIN moving over, and he is going to drop the command center at the natural expansion while he moves 1 Marine up to the top. So 2 very different openings, but ultimately going to get to the same place eventually, as SeleCT is going to likely be expanding beyond this, and Marine's going to go out, passes that SCV, and then catches them. Marine's going to try to get back. They want to deny him any information, and actually they do a really, really good job. He does not even get close to that ramp.
Yeah, the problem with using Marines like this, he hasn't, as you can see, he hasn't sent out an SCV to actually scout. He's using the Marines, and the problem with this is the Reaper, because you need the Marines to defend against the Reaper. So the Reaper's going to be able to go in, if not spotted, and be able to pick up a lot of kills here. And has he made a second one? The second one is in production. He got it a little bit supply blocked. Is this Marine going to see it? Well, the Reaper's definitely going to see it coming, and it should be an easy pickoff here without even losing any health whatsoever. Oh,
yeah, very, very nicely done as he got the upper hand and the jump on that Marine. And as you mentioned, there's a couple of Marines that are quickly heading on over to the cliff that could be the most abused here by this Reaper. But he checks the towers. Very, very smart by ThorZaIN, also sending his Marine over so the other Reaper did not manage to see him coming from the tower. And that Reaper's going to move right into the main. Here he goes, 3 Marines rotating around, and it does look like he'll get away scot-free.
Yeah, and another Reaper being made while getting Combat Shield too. So basically, ThorZaIN's at a little bit of an advantage right now, having gone for that command center earlier. So basically, what you need to turn the table is you have to get a couple of SCV kills here to kind of bring the economy back into balance. And with the second Reaper, he may be able to achieve that, if not go into the main with the original one.
Well, he certainly split them up quite nicely, but it looks like 0. Oh, there's 1 as he sneaks that away. ThorZaIN split up a little bit, but he has enough. Nice micro again from SeleCT, as he's shown us some really, really good skills with these Reapers, both of them managing to get away. They only have 2 kills, and Reaper, I'm trying to select you, 2 kills, so 4 kills total. And I mean, what do you think overall? It's a pretty light investment for spreading the Marines out, getting some SCVs here, but you mentioned that he needed to get some SCV SCV kills. Quite frankly, wasn't enough.
No, he hasn't got enough, and he may walk into 3 Marines right now. He's got to be so careful where he deploys them. He has not done enough with this yet. If you look, 24 SCVs versus 29, 5 SCV difference because of the Reaper expand open compared to the kind of gasless expo here. So we have ThorZaIN at a slight edge, and will he be able to maintain it though?
Well, here he goes. He moves in. He actually sees the Marines a little too late and decides to duck out of there, so he does not want to lose them at all. ThorZaIN with some really great coverage there. And SeleCT absolutely did his best to try to get in there and do some damage, but I think he'd be wise to just back off a little bit now. As we have 2 reactor barracks going in the back, we have an engineering bay go up where we will see a little bit more of a focus here. Actually, ThorZaIN is going to be ahead on the upgrades here. Stim's going to be finishing early as well for ThorZaIN, so he's going to kind of switch roles a little bit.
Yeah,
with,
basically ThorZaIN's like 30 seconds ahead of
yeah.
SeleCT, just because of the opening. I mean, he's doing everything just that 30 seconds faster. So we're going to see SeleCT throw down a factory very, very shortly, but he's having to cut corners to get his upgrades kind of up to beat because he knows he can't really fall behind in that. And these Reapers may finally get picked off if he decides to come up here, or is he going to be able to get around?
Oh, he's going to move forward. He might get that SCV too. There's a Stim. He almost manages to get them out. I cannot believe, I mean, he is flirting with disaster with a couple of those Reapers. One of them down to 8 hit points, the other one down to just 2 hit points. So any quick catch by the Marines will mean instant death for those 2. And he decides to go ahead and just spread them out and use them as a tool to scout any potential. Oh, hold on, here we have the 1 Hellion going out. It bypasses the entire army. And is he going to have to send them back here?
Well, it looks like he's going to continue as map vision, which is the really cool thing with going Reapers is you can maintain map vision. So ThorZaIN has no idea about this. The one advantage, though, ThorZaIN has is that 30 seconds. His +1 attack's going to finish earlier. And he already has medivacs out, as SeleCT's factory is only just the second finish. No reactor, no starport whatsoever. And this +1 attack is going to make the world of difference, as it's got a few seconds left.
Oh, and you know what else? We've also got medevacs out here. The Marines are a bit split up. There is 1 tank out as well. And there are the Marines stemmed up right away. And he fights right into a battle that he cannot win. The +1 finishes, and that actually couldn't have come at a better time for ThorZaIN.
And a 3rd command center's finished up for ThorZaIN. He's just playing like 1 step ahead of SeleCT every single move this game. And SeleCT hasn't thrown down a 3rd CC yet. He's adding on 2 more barracks, so it looks like he is just going to follow this up with a bit of a timing attack with a couple of medevacs to try and over on ThorZaIN with production. But will he be able to have enough? You know, these upgrades are a little bit behind. +1 armor's on its way as well. It's going to be tough.
Well, we've got SeleCT trying to regain some ground here, getting vision, because we see over here ThorZaIN is retaking vision at his front. Absolutely crucial, too. You want to avoid any sort of direct attacks that way, and it's such an easy way to happen. ThorZaIN now transferring over some SCVs to the 3rd base as it morphs into an orbital command. The rock's going down here for SeleCT, and he now has his +1. But as you mentioned, still kind of coasting about 30 minutes or 30 seconds ahead of SeleCT right now, and really, really looking in good shape. Just the supply alone, you're starting to see that gap be filled. 109 in favor of ThorZaIN, 94 for SeleCT, and we've seen ThorZaIN really push ahead while SeleCT just kind of tailing. He is supply blocked right now, waiting for some depots to finish up, and there he's going to rock ahead. But you know, ThorZaIN just still maintaining a small lead.
Yeah, I mean, SeleCT right now has to cut corners as he can't really defend that well, because if he spreads his units out, that means ThorZaIN's army is always going to be a little bit bigger, so he has to be so careful about that. And as I say that, he moves his Marines into absolutely fantastic position here, and they are going to intercept this this medevac, and it will go down, most definitely will go down if it doesn't turn around.
Oh,
and again, but ThorZaIN does have sight range, he does have positional advantage in the center of the map right now, which forces SeleCT to go back. But once again, ThorZaIN just losing the medevac full Marines at the early stages of a game.
Yeah, I mean, almost identical to what happened, and it's really too bad. I mean, for ThorZaIN, if you think about it from his perspective, if that could have slipped up in through the back, it could have been absolutely devastating. And now, almost like exactly what happened last game. Yes, we've got a double medevac coming over. Oh, hello, supply depot that's just put there absolutely perfectly. He will spot this, and of course that means that ThorZaIN can go ahead and react. The supply depot goes down, but there it is. What do you think?
That's pretty good. I mean, well, he's got to be careful though not to lose his units though, as 2 tanks are going to make a big difference. He's going to go now. But look at the right-hand side of the map, too. Look at the supply depot placements here for ThorZaIN. They're in absolutely amazing positions. And 2 medivacs kind of counter-attack, you could say. Kind of countering what SeleCT just did. But another army is in position once again. And once again, we could see ThorZaIN lose everything here.
Yeah, ThorZaIN, if he had a couple of tanks back here, I feel like he'd be in really, really good position. And he's going to meet over here on the side, but there are no medevacs to help out with SeleCT's army. Those Marines will jet forward, take out one of the tanks. More tanks are coming in from the side. He may not want to overcommit to this, and he will draw back. That was a very, very smart move, as now we're going to have this unit moving in now towards an area that ThorZaIN has very, very well defended.
And the south side, basically SeleCT's trying to get in 2 areas at once. Right at the south side, is going to try to go in there, but there are units spread out everywhere. ThorZaIN's defense is equal to the attacking, multitasking skills of SeleCT right now.
And they are going to get spotted right now. They are going directly into the main. This army does try to get away and take out that medevac, but here they go. A lot of SCVs do go down. One building, a supply depot as well, but I think this is going to be entirely cleaned up. He's got to be very careful about picking up, and there it is. One of the medevacs does go down, and that was the one with all the Marines.
Yeah, ThorZaIN's defense in this game is out of this world right now. Look at his vision as well. He sees almost everything. He has every single Zellnaga tower covered. He has supply depots and SCVs spread across the map. He knows exactly where SeleCT is, and ThorZaIN's playing this game so well right now.
He was really looking very nice. Taking a look at the upgrades right now, as we do have another drop. That drop that got away, well, it is back, and I think it's going to get cleaned up quite easily. One medevac goes down yet again. Another exchange as SeleCT really wants to try to take over vision near his side, and that medevac has 2 Marines in there, so he's got to continue to be aware of it. Single Marine going forward and just checking out the vision or where the army is of SeleCT. And the supply right now, 191 to 185 in favor of ThorZaIN, will get really close to being maxed here.
Yeah, ThorZaIN's actually mined 1,000 gas more than SeleCT, and 1,000 gas is a lot. That's a lot of upgrades that he can be thrown in, a lot more tanks he can have, and medevacs he can have. And you can kind of see in the army diversity that we have 2-2 upgrades about to finish for ThorZaIN, and 2-2 only just starting for SeleCT. There are more tanks here, and there's, well, equal medivacs right now, but without the amount of the same tanks. And the better position here, ooh, very close. I mean, it's so toe-to-toe, and ThorZaIN is kind of he wants to hold this position while dropping on the left-hand side of the map towards that back base, which is kind of defended well. There is a tank and 4 Marines, so... But if he does kind of unload, sorry, and then run in, he's going to be able to get a lot better results.
And let's see, he's going to actually drop off here and do exactly what you just said, is he's going to not risk being spotted. Meanwhile, this medevac from the back is going out here for SeleCT. It's not going to do much damage at all, and taking out this constructing command center would be big. The 2 tanks have to be taken out, and it doesn't even, I don't even think he realizes the second one. There he goes, he takes it out. SCV's trying to get away now. He has to pull a lot of units back, but finally ThorZaIN manages to get a very successful drop in here, and the orbital goes down.
Yeah, that is so worth it. He doesn't care if he loses both of these medevacs now. Killing that command center when he already has the economy advantage, that is absolutely fantastic for ThorZaIN. And he is, well, SeleCT is getting ready to drop at the right-hand side, but he's lost position because ThorZaIN pulled him all the way back to that 3rd base, and SeleCT is in an, awful position right now.
Yeah, in fact, that also allowed ThorZaIN to just move forward. And he wants to continue to take those forward positions. Unfortunately, ThorZaIN letting that tank get a little bit too far ahead. And now we're going to have the, of course, aerial vision wars going back and forth. Looks like SeleCT has decided to put this medevac back into commission now. And it is going up against a morphing planetary. So he should be able to take that out with really nothing there to defend at all.
And SeleCT has to break this contain. I mean, he's going to get off this... Well, actually, I don't know. He's not even going to get the command center because he hasn't gone in before Planetary Fortress. So that's a bit of a blunder there. But he has to break this contain. The gas is out of control right now. There's another south baseman taking the 6 o'clock position. 3-3 upgrades are about to finish. and +3 attack for the vehicles as well. And SeleCT is nowhere near equal to upgrades.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary looking upgrade list going up there for ThorZaIN right now. Looks like the planetary took absolutely no damage, and rightfully so. And look at this spotting here as well. ThorZaIN sending 2 Marines down. He'll know exactly when the 4th is going up. There's the scan to see exactly where ThorZaIN is, and is SeleCT going to go for the move, or is he just going to go ahead and try to keep it? He's going to swing around from the left side, and he's in a pretty good position. Keep in mind, he's also got the Viking control, which is going to be absolutely crucial. I mean, do we have any Vikings coming out at all?
No, none whatsoever. And if he was able to snipe the Zalnoga tower, I mean, that's kind of tough to do, and then he could get a lot better vision. But at the same time, we are going to see a drop from ThorZaIN, and he's going to be able to load a lot of stuff into the main base. And there are a couple of turrets here which will help prevent this, though.
And here he's going to go up. There's one. He's also got a tank there as well. He's going to drop down. He doesn't unload right away, but the one with the tank does manage to stay alive. The medevac does get away. He could load up another group. Meanwhile, down here in the corner, no, SeleCT just moving over to the side. He's moved a few units up, and he is sieged up. He might be able to take out some production here.
Yeah, the tank spread of ThorZaIN in the center is really strong too. He's going to drop on the lone 2 tanks of SeleCT and clean this up once again. And ThorZaIN making minimal mistakes. SeleCT stims really heavily here and manages to save the last tank, actually.
But, oh, a lot of Marines moving in, and actually some units just thrown away there by ThorZaIN. SeleCT is managing to hold on to a very nice line. Oh my gosh, and he sieges up right on the bottom. Not sure if he meant to do that or not. 2 tanks do get taken out, but so many Marines just clean that up from the bottom. And suddenly just having this Viking control and also not controlling your Marines 100%. I mean, it looks like SeleCT wants to swing in through the flank, and I think it's a very smart thing to do.
I mean, if he was able to snipe the 2 medevacs somehow with these Vikings, he's going to be able to sit on that Zalnoga tower and absolutely regain control of that side of the map, which means he can start mining because his main base is mined out, the natural is mined out, the 3rd base is not long away from being done as well, and ThorZaIN has all the abilities to mine from multiple locations right now.
I mean, ThorZaIN's base situation looks ridiculous. Look at his bank right now, 3,200 to 187, which just means that it's upgrade city right now. We have Terran building armor underway. There's the +3 level weapons. It's about to finish for ThorZaIN. More tanks coming out. And I really feel like SeleCT has done a good job of taking up front. And look at this. He moves forward, takes out all the tanks here, and this is not good.
Oh, and actually, SeleCT goes in. He stims and goes in. There's hardly anything there, as ThorZaIN's been spreading his units out very thinly, and he's going to be able to clean this up now.
ThorZaIN is kind of be put into the test here. He's got a huge bank in order to play from. He's got more bases right now. We're going to have another drop over here, and this could possibly take this base out. This planetary is very low, and ThorZaIN's going to have to retreat all of his units in the middle, try to do some major damage right here. They're going to go for the repair on the planetary fortress, and will it go down? It is being repaired all the way up. There's almost nothing that he can do. The Marines were kind of choking themselves in right there, and the planetary does managed to stay alive for the time being, but a siege on the tanks. Over on the right side, it looks like SeleCT's moving forward.
And it looks like SeleCT's going to be able to get kind of position on this back right base as well for ThorZaIN. He's got a lot of Marines there. He's got a lot of Marines, Vikings, medevacs, and tanks at the center side. But he's lost control of his, well, he has 1 mining base with oh my god, that is a lot of mules up there. There is 8 mules at the north side base for SeleCT to keep his economy going. He has a lot of money in the bank as well, and a big engagement here. Once again, SeleCT does have positional advantage, but is just going to move away. Doesn't want to sit on the Zalnoga tower, because right now the tanks are going to make a big difference here as SeleCT's army spread out across everywhere.
Across everywhere is absolutely right. He's not dealt with this 4th base, which I think is going to end up being a very crucial thing. I mean, he did put this up here, and he is mining via mules. It does look like he is sieged up over on this side as well. So we sort of have a similar situation of what's going down on both sides. But it appears as if ThorZaIN's going to lose his planetary. Finally, he begins his repair. And do we have more Marines heading up? Could possibly sneak in over here and do some damage to these mules. We have another drop heading out.
He's going to try and get rid of both of these tanks. If he can clean up these tanks, he may be able to mine from there eventually, but he needs more than just this medevac to do so. And he may actually not even try to drop on these tanks and just go around the back to prevent this 6 o'clock mining base.
More tanks are lost by ThorZaIN in the middle as the Air battle is being won by SeleCT, and yeah, I don't think that is like for the main right there. He wants to take it all the way in. Is this planetary going to go down yet? No, it is not. It continues to be under siege. Right now, ThorZaIN has the middle, and we are about to hit another 30-minute game between these two players here on a very, very large map. And, oh, looks like a tank got in there, and ThorZaIN is going to save that. And
we do have SeleCT dropping at the south side, managing to stop. Basically, he stopped ThorZaIN mining every base now. The right-hand side and the south side, while SeleCT is mining from the north side. He's going to be taking gases very, very shortly, and ThorZaIN has to do something to prevent that. Otherwise, he may be, losing the game that he almost had in the bag.
Yeah, and now he has begun mining once again over here. He did manage to save this one as well. But he's got to shut this one down, I think. There's no mining going on here. And we have another drop?
Yeah, well, he's going to try to clean it up now eventually on the left-hand side. And ThorZaIN cleans up the top right, and I think SeleCT's going to go clean up the bottom left now.
Yeah, there's a lot of spread out units, just as you said. Supplies are maxed once again. And there, finally, he gets rid of it. And ThorZaIN not responding. He's going to let all those Marines go down. And SeleCT manages to keep that alive and up and running. But this one looks like it could be really, really scary. As he's moving in, actually, there are some Marines there. Just a single medevac. He's not going to be able to take it down with all those SCVs. So he should be able to hold this no problem.
The tank advantage is strongly in favor of ThorZaIN right now, and he knows it, and he's going to go straight for the middle now, but can he do it? Oh, SeleCT's tanks are unsieged.
They are, and they're going to siege up. That means the Marines can just jet forward, but most of them do go down. There's only 4 tanks remaining. However, ThorZaIN's not in a position where he wants to give up a lot of units for no return at all. And he does suddenly have, where did all the Vikings go? Did I miss something? Were they target fired down? Because it looks like suddenly SeleCT's air advantage, that was really helping him control the middle, is now gone.
Yeah, he lost a lot of Vikings early in a fight. He still has a couple still left on his natural, but he doesn't have the same dominance as he does before. And SeleCT sneakily expanding to the top right-hand side, actually. He is going to drop at the south side now at that 6 p.m. base once again. And oh my god, so many mules are cooled down, and they're in a lot of danger, actually.
Oh, they are going to get absolutely... And you know what? This isn't the only medevac that's making its way over. This is just part 1 medevac. As part 2, the sequel is right over here, and may not be as good as the first one, but is certainly going... Well, actually, that first one was not that great. He did not control that too great.
He's upgraded the auto-tracking for the turrets and for the planetary fortress, so they can actually reach behind mineral lines now. And again, it's going to be shut down at this this south side.
Yeah, so not as great as it could have been. Here we're going to have tanks sieging up. No vision of it from SeleCT, and a lot of those Marines are going to get rained down on before they realize there's the scan. And a couple Marines and a tank do manage to go down. Right now, the supply, it's starting to dip a little bit in favor of ThorZaIN. But it's all going to come down to economy here. SeleCT has this base up, just doing fine. This base up in the northeast, he is managing to get this one up. It started mining. ThorZaIN, on the other hand, oh, another big attack in the middle.
Oh, and I don't think SeleCT has enough on this left-hand side. It's going to lose that position, and that's pretty vital. You know, in TVT, Zelnova towers are so important to gain that extra vision, especially if you don't have a high Viking count, you don't have that many medivacs, or your opponent has more Vikings. It's so important to control the Zelnova towers.
This is looking pretty good here, actually, for ThorZaIN now. As here he's going to move back into position. The Vikings come out, though. They take care of all of the medevacs. And did they siege up in time? The Marines are pretty much gone. They've got to get rid of these tanks. And it does look like ThorZaIN will just manage to squeak. I don't know. He won't. The tanks are holding it on. We had the Vikings drop on top of ThorZaIN's tanks. And here comes
such a big army in the
center
of that map.
It's coming.
Oh man, he can just steamroll over SeleCT now. He doesn't even need to siege up. He's got such a big army. The tank upgrades are good as well. They're 3-1 now, and he's going to be able to deny this north base very, very shortly. And he just needs to hold on to these bases. The left and top side, if SeleCT loses them, he won't have any money income. And you can start to see it in his resources. It's really dwindling right now.
SeleCT getting, again, a couple of nice hits in here, but ThorZaIN, even though he's spread out, he's just, his army is looking really nice, as we've seen SeleCT drop down to 161. So he's trying to fight on one side, but we take a look at the income in the bank, and right now ThorZaIN continues to have an advantage there in the economy, bringing in 1,500 right now in terms of income and having a 3,200 mineral bank right now. And is there going to be an...
It looks like there's a drop into the main base off Select by ThorZaIN. 2 Medivacs, full of Marines doing a lot of damage to the production, and Select just doesn't know where to go right now. And 2 Medivacs are going to make a big difference here, but the Select army's fast, well, bigger, but the problem is he's got all his army there, and ThorZaIN can go attack in a different direction. On the left side, Nogatow, he's trying to regain it, and actually kind of a loose trade there from ThorZaIN. But the big important factor is this kind of 12 o'clock base from Select is under siege consistently. He needs to gain that control.
Yeah, and it's actually about to go down as it is taking some healing there from the SCVs. We've got another attack as all the orbitals will be under fire here, and looks like Select's going to move forward yet again, managing to hold on here. And we've got what now?
What now? I know this game is crazy. The north side base actually does finally drop for Select. And the orbitals are going down, though. That's really good for Select in the bottom right-hand side. And they're still fighting over the Xel'Naga Tower on the left side as well. And it looks like Select will manage to still hold on.
This is going to be the 100-year battle over here at this West Xel'Naga Tower. It's definitely been a huge area of contention. But ThorZaIN with this base over here that now is going to get dropped on. There are a lot of mules here. It is an orbital. So ThorZaIN probably going to lose that one. Doesn't really have much going on this side, but he's put himself in a situation where his economy is not going to be really in danger here. And I think this is one of those rare situations, Apollo, where he can just continue to throw tanks and Marines at the problem, and we'll eventually take care of it.
Yeah, most definitely. He's got the control of Select's ramp now with these 6 tanks here as well, so Select can't even reinforce his army anymore, and slowly but surely the Spoon is going to tap too many times on Select, and he can't really deal with it.
This as well, Select does try to drop on top of these tanks, and he actually doesn't get them down on the low ground. The scan gets them on the high ground, and ThorZaIN's completely okay with it. There it is, GG! 36 minutes and 40 in-game seconds is how long Select had to deal with the torture of having himself spooned out there. And ThorZaIN wins it, which, you know, was impressive.